This internal factor is also known as individual determinants. This external factors is also known as environmental determinants. In this theory, we are going with the bottom to top. Let me call it as a Maslow's hierarchy of need theory. Physiological need is nothing but a basic need or a basic requirement that is required to the individuals. This is the way how the taste and preferences of the individual customer keep on changing from one time to another time as per the trend. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, we are going with the subject Consumer Behavior, Session 1 of Unit 2, that is Individual Determinants of Consumer Behavior for 5th semester B.BA students. This is agenda of today's session. In today's session, we are going to cover the topic of determinants of a consumer behavior, that is individual determinants and environmental determinants, consumer needs and motivation, Maslow's hierarchy of need theory, and personality and self-concept in individual determinants. So these are the topics that we need to cover in today's session. This determinants of consumer behavior is classified into two categories: individual determinants and environmental determinants. Individual determinants are the internal factors of a consumer behavior which is going to happen inside a particular consumer, right? Individual consumer. So in terms of environmental determinants, these are the external factors that is going to influence the consumer to make a purchase decision. These are the internal factors and these are the external factors. We are going through both internal and external factors. As per the syllabus of University of Mysore, they had given the individual determinants in Unit 2 and environmental determinants in Unit 3. Individual determinants means internal factors that is going to influence the consumer behavior. Throughout Unit 2, that we are going with the concept of individual determinants. And in Unit 3, we are going with environmental determinants, that is external determinants of a consumer behavior. When it comes in terms of individual determinants, we are going with the concept of need and motivation. Means it is the internal factors that is going to influence a consumer to make a purchase decision, and hierarchy of need theory. So it is also an individual determinant, and also personality and self-concept. These are the three concepts that we need to cover in today's session. Determinants of consumer behavior. In terms of a consumer behavior, there are various factors that is going to influence a consumer to make purchase decision, right? So it totally depends upon the situation. It totally depends upon the consumer how he is going to make a purchase, right? So when it comes in terms of a determinants, it is the obligation of a marketer to know about his consumer behavior, because in today's generation, the business unit is consumer centric. Whatever the goods or the product that is demanded by the consumer, that must be facilitated by the producer, right? So earlier there was a marketing concept. Whatever the product that is manufactured by the manufacturer must be purchased by the customer. Means in today's generation, it had updated to the customer centric. Okay, so means whatever the product that is demanded by the customer must be facilitated by the marketer, right? So it is the obligation of a marketer to know about a behavior of a consumer. Means by studying the behavior of the consumer, so it is their obligation to know about determinants or the factors that is going to influence the behavior of a consumer. Means how the consumer get influenced to make a purchase decision. Means a consumer, he is going to purchase some goods or a commodity. Means there are some factors that is going to influence him, right? Consumer proceeds to the decisions related to the product and services. So it is going to say about a decision of a consumer, the end user of a product or a commodity, regarding the purchase of goods or services. A person's buying choice can be influenced by some of the internal and external factors. So as I said, a buying choice of a customer will be influenced by some of the internal and external factors. Okay, so Internal factors, as I explained in unit 1, it is the internal perception or the internal aspect which is inside the consumer. External factors are the external environment factors that is going to influence the customer or a consumer to make a purchase decision, right? This internal factor is also known as individual determinants. This external factors is also known as environmental determinants. The concept of consumer behavior is influenced by 5 factors. So if we consider together whether it is internal or external determinants, okay, so there are 5 major factors that is going to influence a behavior of a consumer. Which are those 5 factors? Psychological factor, social factor, cultural factor, personal factor and economic factor. These are the 5 factors that is going to influence a behavior of a consumer. These 5 factors are very important in the exam point of view in terms of a consumer behavior. Please note down this point, okay. Psychological factors. This psychological factor is a internal factor of a consumer behavior. As we know, psychological factor is a internal factor of a consumer behavior. Means the psychology which is going to happen inside a human, right? So that we call it as a psychological factor, that is internal factor which is going to happen internally. This internal factor is also known as individual determinants of consumer behavior. Social factors is nothing but the factors that is going to influence a consumer, that is the external society, means the consumer where he is going to live, the external environment factors that is going to influence him to make a purchase decision. It may be his family, it may be his neighbors, it may be his far relative, or it may be his group of people. Directly or indirectly, it is going to influence him to make a purchase decision. Say for an example, if he want to purchase something, his family members, they are going to prefer some brand of product to make purchase decision. His friends, they are going to prefer some brand of product to make purchase decision, right? So these people, they keep on depending on the group that they are going to live, right? So that is a social factors. These social factors are the external environmental factors. The best example for external factors is group of friend, family members or neighbors. This external factor is also known as environmental determinants of consumer behavior. Please don't get confused between internal determinants and external determinants. I repeat, internal determinants are the internal factors which is used to influence the customer to make a purchase decision. Internal perception, it may be the impression, it may be his characteristics, okay. So it may be his learning, right? So these are the internal factors that is going to influence. It may be his need, okay. So these are the factors that is going to influence the customer to make a purchase decision. In terms of external factors, there are many external factors are the external environmental factors which is going to influence the customer to make a purchase decision. Cultural factors. This is an external factor that is going to influence a customer to make a purchase decision. As we know, India is known as a land of tradition where Indians follow various kind of a culture, means different geographical location followed by different culture, right? So one culture is not similar to other culture. It depends upon the geographical location where the culture will be followed, right? So under each and every culture, there are some subculture that is followed by Indians. Okay, the best example for culture is Indian culture is completely different from American culture, Singapore culture and culture of other foreign countries, right? And in terms of a subculture, there are number of subculture in the land like India, right? So Indians, we follow a number of subcultures. So one subculture is not similar to another subculture. The culture of Karnataka, food habit, dressing sense, or the behavior, perception, buying habits, right? It is completely different from the people of Kerala, Andhra Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh or North people. Means the food habits of North Indians is completely different from the food habit of South Indians. These cultural factors are the external factors, and also this external factors is also known as environmental determinants of consumer behavior. Personal factors. Personal factors are the internal factors. Personal factors are, it may be his characteristic, it may be his need, it may be his want, it may be his perception, right? These are the internal factors that is going to influencing the buying habit of a individual. This internal factor is also known as individual determinants of consumer behavior. Last one, economic factors. Economic factors are the external factors of the consumer behavior, this external factors is also known as environmental factors. Means whatever the goods or the product or a commodity that the customer or a consumer he is going to purchase based on his budget. Means this external factor is going to deal with the economy of our country and also GDP. Means based on the economic standard, it is going to deal with. A person, he is going to keep his commitment based on his income. So there are varieties of people that is available in a society. A person, he may take 20,000 of income. He do have a commitment worth of 20,000 rupees. A person who withdraw 2 lakh rupees of a salary, okay, so he do have a commitment worth of a 2 lakh. Means it totally depends upon the salary, and the purchasing power parity is completely dependent on the income that the individual that they are going to earn. Determinants of consumer behavior. So if we come in terms of determinants, it is classified into external and internal factors. Okay, repeatedly I am telling, internal factors are also known as individual determinants. External factors are also known as environmental determinants. In terms of external factors, it is cultural factor and social factors. In terms of culture, there are many kinds of culture, subculture, social class and buyer culture. Right? So, as I said, under each and every culture, there are number of subculture that will be followed, and a social class, a group of people which they are going to influence, means the people of a society which they are going to influence us to make a purchase decision. It may be our personal group, it may be our official group, it may be a unorganized group, a group of people that they are going to influence us for the decision making. Social, it is about society. In society, there are some people that we call it as a reference group. So in reference group, what happens, a group of people, they use same kind of product, but they are going to influence each other for the purchase decision, that we call it as a reference group. A family member, this plays a vital role in decision making process. Okay, so a person's decision is dependent on the family members, and also role that the individual they play in a society, and the status of an individual in a society based on their roles and status that they are going to purchase a commodity or a product. Say for an example, rich people, they prefer to have a luxury car, right? Because they make a purchase decision based on their role in a society and their status. As per their status that they are going to make a purchase decision. And when it comes in terms of internal factors, there are number of internal factors that is going to influence consumer behavior. First one is personal factor. Second one is psychological factor. These are the two factors that is going to influence a consumer. In terms of personal factor, it may be a profession. So as per their profession that they are going to make a purchase. There are lots of difference between a professor, he is going to purchase a car, and a common man, he is going to purchase a car, right? Next one is education. The need of a student who go with 12th standard, that is completely different when compared to a student of a master degree, right? So it totally depends. And the age, based on the age, a buying habit of a children and adults are completely different from the buying habit of a aged people. Based on their income, as I said, so based on their income that they are going to make a purchase decision. So based on their lifestyle also, the purchasing habit differs, right? And also personality. So these are the internal factors. Means personality is the internal factor that is going to influence. Means one personality is not similar to the another personality. It varied from one person to another person. Means it may be in terms of taste and preferences, it may be in terms of need and wants, right? So it differs from one person to another person. Regarding the motivation, means a person, he get motivated towards one particular product and he make a purchase decision. Means it is from the external environment which is going to affect on the internal environment. Learning, means if a person he is going to purchase something, he must learn something about it, right? So means for an example, he purchased today one particular product. If he have a good experience, he is going to purchase the product repeatedly. If not, he won't prefer that particular product, and he also not influence other people to make purchase that particular product. Perception, Perception is the expression of the individual customer after using the particular product, how they feel about that particular product. Beliefs and attitude. These beliefs are the internal factors, right? It comes from the family, it may come from the tradition, or it may come from the culture, right? So beliefs and attitude also differs from one culture to other culture. Means these are the factors that we need to know about the internal and external factors that is relevant for the determinants of consumer behavior. So as I said, in terms of determinants of consumer behavior, we are going with two major topics, that is internal determinants. It is also known as individual determinants of a consumer behavior, and external determinants, we call it as a environmental determinants of consumer behavior. Individual determinants we are going to learn in unit 2. External determinants we are going to learn in unit 3. Individual factors of consumer behavior. Individual factors means internal determinants. These factors are internal factors of consumer behavior. These are the internal factors. These factors are available inside a consumer, which leads consumer to make purchase decision. Means it is going to influence a consumer to make a purchase decision of a particular product or a service. The individual factors of consumer behavior are, okay, so these are the individual factors that we are going through in today's session. Okay, consumer need and motivation, personality and self-concept, consumer perception, learning and memory, nature and consumer attitude, and also psychological factors like motivation, perception, learning, belief and attitude. These are the concepts that we need to cover in unit 2, that is individual determinants of consumer behavior. We shall go with all the individual concept in further slides. Consumer need and motivation. So what is this a need of a consumer? Why this need of a consumer is required? Because no consumer is going to make a purchase decision without need. If it is need, he is going to purchase a product or a commodity. Until and unless that product or a service become need for a individual, they won't purchase any kind of a product or a commodity. It is the obligation of a manufacturer to know about a needs of a consumer. When it comes in terms of a need of a consumer, so there are various kinds of need. Okay, so here to know about need of a individual, we are going with hierarchy of need theory that is given by Maslow. It is also known as Maslow's hierarchy of need theory. Okay, so in Maslow's hierarchy of need theory, we are going with the 5 different phases of a Maslow's hierarchy of need that we are going to study further. All the human needs can be classified into 5 hierarchical categories. So according to the Maslow's hierarchy of need theory, all the human needs is classified into 5 categories. Okay, and this hierarchy is, and also this hierarchy of need is applicable universally. Okay, means whatever the need of hierarchy it is there, it is applicable universally, not it only meant for the separate sector or a separate field or a stream. The theory of hierarchy of need is propounded by Abraham Maslow. So we call it as a Maslow's hierarchy of need theory. I repeat, this is very important. Please note down the point, students. Hierarchy of need theory was propounded by Abraham Maslow. So that is the reason why we call it as a Maslow's hierarchy of need theory. It is going to say about the 5 hierarchical categories. Okay, according to Maslow's hierarchy, all need can be ranked in order of importance for the lower biological need to the higher level psychological need. Okay, so it is going to start with the lower biological need and it is going to end with the higher psychological need. Okay, so when compared to all the kind of theories, we are going with from the top end to the bottom in kind of all the theories, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, right? So in terms of this theory, we are going with the bottom to top. Okay, so in this theory, we are going with the bottom to top, that we call it as a Maslow's hierarchy of need theory, which is proponed by Abraham Maslow. So this is the theory that I said, which is proponed by Abraham Maslow. The name of theory is Maslow's hierarchy of need theory. Okay, this is very, very important in exam point of view, dear students. In Abraham Maslow's theory, there is a triangle that we can see. Okay, so here there is a triangle. Okay, so in each and every theory, we come from top to bottom. In this theory, we come from bottom to top. In the first phase, there is a physiological need. So physiological need is nothing but a basic need or a basic requirement that is required to the individuals, right? So it may be a food, fodder and shelter. And again, a safety need. So safety need means a job security or a security, health insurance, right? So it is a security that the individual that he need for his lifetime. Love and belongingness. Okay, so after fulfilling the safety need, he is going towards the love and belongingness. It consists of affection, it consists of a love, good relationship, right? Good bonding among the people in a society, right? That is about love and belongingness. And esteem need. After fulfilling all the requirements, it may be a psychological requirements, job security and love and belongingness, and esteem need means he wants some recognition in the society. Means he had fulfilled all his requirements and he want some recognition, he wants some reputation, right? So he want a name and fame in a society, that is esteem need. This self-actualization need, it is going to fulfilled after fulfillment of all the requirement. It may be a psychological safety need, love and belongingness, and also esteem need. Okay, after fulfilling all this need, this is a end level is going to reach with the self-actualization need. Means according to this theory, until and unless the first need get fulfilled, the second need cannot be fulfilled. Okay, so the second need can be fulfilled only after fulfilling the first need. Say for an example, there is an individual, he doesn't have anything, he doesn't have money. Okay, so what is the basic requirement that he is required? He require only food, fodder and shelter. If we facilitate him by this, so he can survive in the environment. After fulfilling food, fodder and shelter, he is going to expect something extra, that we call it as a safety need. Okay, so he had joined some organization newly. Okay, he is going to expect something that is nothing but job safety, security, right? So he is going to expect some safety, that we call it as a safety need. And next one, love and belongingness. So in the organization, he want every people to maintain a good relationship with him. So he want a good bonding with the workforce and also with his family members and also with his friends. He want a good affection because he want to spend a time in a very good way, right? Next one, esteem need. So after fulfilling this, so he want something else that is more than affection and good bonding. In terms of promotion, in terms of designation, in terms of a performance appraisal, he want extra thing. And after fulfilling these all things, he is promoted as a manager and the salary get hiked and the incentives had paid. Okay, so again he is going to reach a self-actualization thing. Means this need can be fulfilled only after fulfilling all these things. It may be a psychological safety, love and belongingness and esteem need. This is the last and the final stage that we call it as a self-actualization stage. Okay, this is a state where there is no need for the individuals. All the need get fulfilled in the minds of individual. Okay, so he have everything. Okay, he have car, he have bungalow, he have good relationship. Okay, so he do not have any kind of need because he is in the top. Okay, so that is self-actualization need. This self-actualization need can happen only after the fulfillment of all the belonging needs. Personality and self-concept. What is personality? To understand a buyer need and convert them into customers, it is a main purpose of a consumer behavior. Okay, so It is an obligation of a consumer behavior to recognize the need of a buyer and also to fulfill the need of a buyer. That is a main obligation of a study of consumer behavior. To understand the buying habit of the individual customer, it is the obligation of a marketer to know about a personality of a individual or a buyer, because one personality is not similar for the another personality. Personality means, please don't get mistake, okay? So personality in terms of a internal personality, not the external personality, okay? So it is a internal attitude, internal mindset or internal characteristic that each and every customer they do have, okay? Because a person is going to treat Apple iPhone is completely different from other person he is going to consider Apple iPhone. It totally depends upon his personality, his thinking ability, his characteristics, how the product is need to him, right? It is completely different from one person to another person. As I said, personality signifies the internal psychological characteristics. Means personality, it is going to say about a internal psychological characteristics. My psychology is completely different from your psychology. Your psychology is completely different from somebody else's psychology, right? That reflect how a person react to his environment. Okay, so my perception is completely different from your perception. My way of reacting to the environment is completely different from your way that you react to the present environment. Okay, so it totally depends upon your personality and my personality. Personality shows the individual choice for various products and brand. Okay, so personality differ, brand and the product also differs from one another. Okay, so one kind of a personality. Okay, so I want cell phone, so that is my personality. There is somebody who doesn't want cell phone but he want two-wheeler. Okay, that is his personality. Means in terms of a cell phone, I want only Samsung brand, not any other brand than Samsung. That is my personality. In bike, somebody want the Royal Enfield, they doesn't want any of the brand, right? So the preference of the brand, the preference of the product totally depends upon the personality. Theories of personality. In today's session, we are going with 3 theories of personality. It is very easy in terms of theories. Trait theory, simple trait theories and general trait theories. Okay, so this simple trait theory and general trait theory, it comes under the concept of trait theory itself. Trait theory. What is this trait theory? Traits are the factors of an individual or tendency of an individual. So these traits are nothing but the retake. These traits are not the problems. It is a tendency of the individual in a particular manner. Okay, so this tendency differs from one generation to another generation, and one group of people, another group of people, and one culture to other culture. Trait help in defining the behavior of consumer. So it is going to benefit the marketer by defining a behavior of a consumer, because he can adopt some things based on the behavior of a consumer. According to the trait theory, an individual personality makeup stems out of the trait that he possesses. Okay, so how the individual that they are going to possess, it totally depends, and the identification of trait is very important. Means in terms of a trait theory, it is the obligation of a manufacturer to identify the trait and fulfill it. Theories of trait. Following are the few of the most common traits. So as I said, a trait, okay, so there are a number of traits of a individual customer or a consumer. It differs from one group of people to other group of people. It may be outgoing, it may be sad, it may be stable, it may be serious, happy and lucky, relaxed, self-assured, practical, imaginative. Means these are all the kinds of the personality of the individual. Based on their personality, they may make a purchase decision. Say for an example, if a person, he is sad, always sad, okay, so there are some personality. If we ask anything, they are going to reply in always in a sad mode. Means their way of buying or buying decision making is completely different from the person who is very happy. And in a Same way, there are some people who are stable and there are some people who are not stable. So happy and lucky. Okay, so he is very happy and also he is very lucky. He is not like the person who is very sad. And again, there are some personality that is relaxed, self-assured. So there are various kinds of a personality. Simple trait theories. In simple trait theories, a limited number of traits are identified. Okay, so here in the trait theory there are various kinds of the traits. In here in the simple trait theory, only a specific number of traits can be identified, and peoples are categorized and classified under those traits. Means they are going to make a people with the similar trait, right? So that they are going to divide the people into different kind of trait based on their characteristics. General trait theory. In general trait theory, a large variety of traits are identified. Okay, so in simple trait theory, a small number of traits are identified. General trait theory, large number of traits will be recognized. Self-concept. So what is this self-concept is about? Means it is an internal perception or a characteristic of a individual. Means my self-assumption is completely different from somebody else's self-assumption. Okay, self-concept is defined as a way in which we think. Okay, so my way of thinking is completely different from your way of thinking. Our preferences, I am going to prefer Samsung mobile, you may prefer Apple iPhone, somebody else may prefer Micromax, right? So it depends. Our belief. So my belief is if I purchase or I invest on Samsung mobile, it is more durable. I can use for more than 5 years. Okay, so say for an example, my belief is if I invest on Samsung mobile, okay, I can take the benefit of that particular mobile for more than 5 years. That is my belief. Okay, so your belief is completely different from my belief. Say for an example, in terms of beliefs, I will give you one beautiful example. I believe that if I purchase Samsung mobile, it is more durable. If I invest on Samsung mobile, it is more durable. But you may purchase Apple iPhone just for the sake of a camera clarity. Okay, so it is equivalent to the DSLR camera. That is your perception. My perception, durability. Your perception must be camera clarity. Means it totally depends upon the belief that the individual they do have. Our attitude. It also depends upon the attitude of an individual. Our opinion. Okay, according to my opinion, Samsung brand is better. Okay, according to your opinion, Apple. According to somebody else's opinion, Micromax. Yes or no? Yes. Arranged in a systematic manner. Okay, those things will be arranged in a systematic manner, and also how we should behave and react in a various roles in life. So it totally depends. Means say for an example, today I may like a Samsung brand, tomorrow I may change my mindset and go with Apple iPhone, right? So it totally depends upon the situation and generation. Okay, so the people that they are going to prefer the product or a brand that is in trend. Okay, aspects of self-concept. So in aspects of self-concept, we are going through 3 aspects. Self-concept is organized, self-concept is learned, self-concept is dynamic. Okay, so self-concept means it is well organized. It differs from one person to another person. Self-concept is learned. Okay, so before we take birth, we doesn't have any kind of self-concept. So after we take birth, we are going to learn from the surrounding environment many things and keep adopting the things for our future. Okay, so based on the external environment that we are going to adopt more things. That is, self-concept is learned. Again, the self-concept is dynamic. As I said, taste and preferences, needs and wants of an individual, it keep on changing from time to time and generation to generation. It is dynamic in nature. It keep on updating from time to time. It does not remain constant. Okay, yesterday my favorite food was biscuit. Today my favorite food is chocolate. But tomorrow my favorite food will be something else. Okay, this is the way how the taste and preferences of the individual customer keep on changing from one time to another time as per the trend. In the next session, we are going with 2 concepts, that is consumer perception and learning and memory. These are the 2 concepts that we need to cover in next session. Thank you.